Hello, Pat. I'm Simone de Rochefort, and this is the video game Cuphead, which we played last week at a Microsoft event.
Wow, you did it. We really did it this time.
Yeah.
Hey, Simone, this is Patrick Gill from Polygon.com.
Yeah.
This, like you said, is definitely Cuphead. We got to play this for, how long did we get to play Cuphead?
Not long enough.
Not
Never long enough.
Yeah, I really want to play more Cuphead.
I want to play it for hours and hours and hours and never stop playing it. So we got to try out the co-op mode,
Yes.
which then turned into single player after I died.
Yeah.
And then you played alone. But it was amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. Obviously, the first thing that you notice when you look at Cuphead, and I think the thing that everybody talked about when they talked about Cuphead is how fucking good it looks. And then the next thing they start talking about is how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is really hard, we do maybe a bit better on the on-ground levels. These shmup things are really tough.
Honestly, I was pretty proud of our air performance. I really like the air level.
Yeah.
Regarding the difficulty, I was kind of nervous going into Cuphead because I'd heard so much, like you said, about how difficult it was. Turns out it doesn't matter. It's just really fun, even though we did die quite a bit, as you can see as you're watching our gameplay.
Yes.
But I never felt at any point frustrated. I felt, oh my god, I want to play this again. I've learned something new.
Right, yeah. I felt like we were capable of making a little bit of forward progress every time we went. And having that second player there with you is really fun because you'll probably see in a second here that you can save each other. It's not just like a Gears of War, Destiny thing where you got to go over to somebody and like hold a button on them for a second. It takes a little bit of timing. You need to use the parry, and I think I'm going to parry in a second here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I die in a second. Yep, here I go.
There you go. So you die, and I'm going to wait for you just a second. So I need to jump and tap A the second that I'm crossing over the pink part of you. Pink is an important color in this game. Anything that is pink, you can parry. So you might see me do it again in a second here.
Yep, there you go.
And you get a double jump off of it, which is cool. There's no double jumping otherwise.
But you can dash. You can jump and dash, which I'm about to do there.
Yes, beautiful. Dashing is really helpful in the boss fights. I
yes.
barely used it in this level. But like once you're fighting a boss, it is super helpful. With the little zoop.
What did you think of the platforming level? Because this is something that they hadn't shown off as much as the boss fights, which were kind of, in the beginning, the big draw of the game. But I really enjoyed... Pat.
No,
I really enjoyed the
game.
platforming.
I enjoyed it too. I never felt like it was, again, unfair. There's a couple parts where the collision is a little dodgy because all these beautiful, like, hand-drawn backgrounds are really nice to look at, but the actual collision under them isn't always obvious. So there are certain parts where, like, you fall off a platform a little before you feel like you should, or you stick to a thing that you don't quite. But the movement itself is super precise. Like, I never felt like there was momentum to get going, or like the jumps had the wrong feel to them. Everything felt really good, and I love this boss fight. What's his
Mostly
name?
when things go... I don't remember his name, but I felt that when things went wrong, it was because I was panicking.
Right, yeah.
Such as, for example, here, where I kept running directly under the boss and then getting crushed by him.
Yeah, which one? Was I Mughead? Was I the
Goopy
blue one?
Legrand, is that his name? You were Mugman, so Pat's the blue player. I'm the dead red one right there.
I can't save you, I'm sorry.
Who is floating up to heaven where I belong. You killed it on this level.
Yeah, I enjoyed. This was so fun.
Quite literally.
Having played a lot of Metal Slug recently, I think maybe it gave me a bit of an edge, but mostly what it gave me an appreciation of with Cuphead is that, as cruel as it is, and I hear it gets even more difficult as you go on, it's fair.
Here is an example of a level that was very cruel.
Yes.
So this one, I included this gameplay, even though we die quite substantially, because we played this level, and it was just like one thing after another thing after another thing. There are so many projectiles and so many just things coming at you from every direction, like those little plants on the ground, and then the large flowers firing seeds that blossom in the air, and then there's a lot going on, and that was, I think for us, the most difficult level, more so even than the airplane level.
Yeah, I don't think we made it very far in this one at all.
We did eventually make it to the third stage of this one.
Right, and then I fucked up. I fucked up a parry. I got too confident.
Here's what I fucked up: is you had the spray ammo on, and I forgot to turn it on for this one, and so I'm not as effective as I could be. And then we, of course, jumped right into the boss's face, so that was really smart of us.
This is save me.
Got you. Oh,
thank you.
I do got you. All right.
That's my
now.
favorite thing in the game is the thank
you
when you get saved.
Rip.
There you go. Speaking of rip.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, yeah,
I was very prescient there.
Here's the second phase of that boss.
Third phase, I believe.
Third phase, yeah, a surprise phase, which is really fun. Like, there's a lot of really fun fake outs in this game where you think that you've got something and then you don't quite have it.
And this is where the dashing really came in handy for you.
And I was able to nuke him down eventually. There we go.
I can see myself playing this all night long.
Yeah. I
Unfortunately,
can too.
because the levels were so fast. I think it felt like only 3 minutes or so each. You die a lot more than that, obviously, so it takes longer.
Right.
But the levels themselves in total were very snappy. The restart was very fast.
Yeah, that's definitely important in a game like this. And I think one of the things that is exciting to me about it is that there's going to be potential to play these levels in different ways. So, if you want to challenge yourself to do it with only 1 HP, taking 0 hits, like you could do that. You could try to do it faster than anybody.
Here's the third stage of this nightmare boss.
Yeah, this boss is
I was
brutal.
dead at that point. You parry pretty well on those pollen clusters or whatever they are.
Yeah, it's really, it feels like it's really about maximizing damage potential when you can get it. Oops, there we go. So just to be always taking away at their health, because obviously they have a lot of health, and this is where I got too confident. I went for the parry, I didn't get it, and I lost.
And you don't have to worry about ammo, which is really nice. So this one, we were experimenting. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I love that you can just hold down the shoot button. There's no mashing. Metal Slug, you need to mash, which becomes exhausting. And I think that they're pretty much just saying this, like, just don't worry about doing that. Just,
always be shooting.
Yes, always be shooting.
And then we experimented with becoming tiny planes in this one, so you can toggle on and off your plane size. So
yes,
it makes it a little easier to dodge when you're small.
Yeah, you're smaller, you got a smaller hitbox, and you move faster.
Oh.
And then I died.
Smart of us.
And you brought me back because you're a true friend.
Thank you. That was the really fun thing about it, was feeling like a hero and a good friend when we revived each other. Even though sometimes, like, if you died in the middle of a jump, you'd be off screen before I got a chance to get to you.
Yeah.
Or more often than not, I would be off screen and I would be dead.
So
thank you.
So the devs said that they started much smaller than the game is right now, but they've worked their way up to like 30-something bosses. Which is hard to imagine, like the amount of content that is. And then we died.
Just walked right into that arrow. I remember that.
I can never forget that.
So Cuphead comes out on September 29th. We're super looking forward to it.
Bye.
And that's the end of that video.
Bye.